Welcome back, monks. It's a brand new week. It's Monday. And I know that a lot of people seem to hate on Mondays. But I'm not one of those people. I love Mondays. And I'm ready to get it. I'm ready to get after it. I'm ready to stay inspired. I want you guys to stay inspired too. And, I had a story to tell you guys about the first time that I felt really self-conscious, or I felt really inadequate. This was the very first time in my life, and I remember it was back in middle school. And so I grew up in the South, in Florida, and this middle school was in the back, like the back of this field, and it was almost like a warehouse. It was like a giant warehouse with some drywall in between. And there was a gym in the middle, or like a basketball court, and just drywall sections. Very, very kind of finicky. Like, you kind of question this place. And it got shut down a couple years later. Anyway, so I was the only white kid at this school. Bunch of brothers, bunch of black dudes. We were all cool. There was this one, he was like Hispanic, but he was pretty much a black, like Hispanic dude. Anyway, everyone was on point with their shoe game. You know, you had to have nice shoes. Little did I know though, like everyone was rocking Adidas, Jordans. They had the nicest shoe, bro. They were fresh. These guys would go home and clean their shoes. They would bring the brushes to school. And the first time I ever felt this way was when I got picked on for my shoes. I came strolling into school feeling all good about myself because my mom just brought me a pair of shoes, and I'm sitting on the bleachers waiting to play some basketball, and this one guy says, "Are those 4 stripes?" And everyone turns their head, their eyes are wide, and they look down at my shoes. And I'm saying, "Yeah, look at them. They're clean." And then they start rolling. They start laughing. They start bawling out, man. And I'm just sitting there like, what are they laughing about? And then one of the guys points to the shoe and he says, "Those are some fake ass Adidas." And ever since then, you know, that one moment, those are some fake ass Adidas, it ingrained itself into my mind. Now I know what a real Adidas look like. In case you didn't know, Adidas have 3 stripes. Fake ass Adidas have 4 stripes. And so these 4 stripe Adidas that I was wearing, aka Payless, wasn't gonna cut it. You feel me? So that was one of those times where I really, and I wonder how much of an impact that had on me socially. If it made me second guess myself. You know, you could fuck up a kid big time. You make fun of them enough. So yeah, man, that was one of those times, and it stuck with me for a while. But I remember eventually I moved up to Ohio, where I currently live, and I went to this high school, and I didn't know anyone. Yeah, everyone's kind of in their cliques. You got the girls over here, the cheerleaders, you got the baseball players, basketball, whatever. And I'm sure you guys can relate to this, but when I was in high school, I felt this feeling of greatness. Like I was a beast. And it was sort of a build-up. Like, I didn't feel that way at first because I didn't know anyone. And it wasn't a feeling of knowing people and having a clique, like a gang, that I felt just like, you know, a beast from. But I just wanted to be a beast. I felt like I had potential. I think part of that was loving Arnold. I used to read the Muscle magazines I would get a Muscle magazine like every other week, man. I was getting that Muscle and Fitness, the Muscle mag. I was getting Muscle Development. I was, you know, Arnold comes out. There's a picture of him on the front cover. That's in some inspiring stuff. This is right around the time I got into lifting. And so I'm at the school, and I felt like I wanted to be better than the circumstances that I was in. You know, I got Payless shoes. My mom's feeding 6 kids on food stamps. Here's some chicken and rice. Oh, it's a good day. Dad had a good day at the flea market. Here's some beans. It's like here's some nutrition for you kids. You know, that's not going to cut it. I'm trying to bodybuild, Ma. I'm trying to get jacked. Eventually, you know, my dad did do pretty well, but then he had his store sold. And so you got your own store, and he used to sell junk, furniture. He used to have arcade games there. You guys probably know the Donkey Kong, Mario arcade. He had pool tables, and we would go there, shoot pool. I'd bring my friends, we'd shoot arcade, play free. You just leave the quarter slot open and take the quarters out and keep putting them in. And then it got shut down. Some guy turned it into a biker place. I hated that dude because, you know, then we had to move. Times were tough. So what I'm saying is that it wasn't a narcissistic type of egotistical, I'm better than everyone else. No, it was just like, I want to do something in my life that's great. I want to like leave behind these circumstances. One day I want to provide for the family, right? I'm meant to do something. And so I was never really envious of the kids in high school. It was more like, okay, John over here is hanging out with the cheerleaders, and this Joey dude, you know, he's got all these parties happening and he's having fun, but at the end of the day, we're still going to the same school. And so I'm like, okay, that's not really what I want. So I was never really fitting in. I kind of just did my own thing, started the gym, had a bunch of people asking me questions. Eventually I became known for working out, right? But, you know, I remember that feeling carrying on into my 20s. But I tell you what is weird is that shit dies, dude. It gets buried 6 feet deep if you let it. So I know you guys feel that. I know you guys feel that massive potential. That's what it is. That feeling of, I'm going to do something with my life. And there's a lot of hippies out there that will berate you for wanting to do something with your life. If that's, you know, find a gorgeous woman and date a gorgeous woman and get married, make a ton of money, have a ton of social influence and friends. It's like people have been conditioned to think that this is shallow and stuff, but you're not helping anyone when you're poor, all right? And you're not like, if you're not accomplishing as a man, you got to move forward. You got to accomplish. You got to feel like you're moving up. You got to have wins. You got to become a bundle of wins, like a ball of wins. Just a winner, moving throughout the world, spreading that winning energy to everyone else. And so these guys these spiritual guys will tell you need to seek enlightenment, but they don't even know what enlightenment is, bro. They've been seeking and seeking and seeking, and then, you know, they're still seeking for some enlightenment. And like, I'm enlightened right now, bro. I tell you what enlightenment is. It ain't stop seeking. It's here. We're gonna die one day, and so use your time on the earth to do something with, to be at a better place than you are now. All right, that doesn't have to be with greed or corruption or have lust taking over your body at all moments of every day. No, man, it means like, you know, being great, striving for greatness, being a light in the world. And so these hippies usually are just putting a Band-Aid, this spiritual Band-Aid over their problems, because stuff is hard, right? One more retreat, one more meditation section, one more chakra alignment. Look, chakras have nothing to do with anything. You don't even know if the chakras are there. That doesn't matter. You don't need your chakras aligned. You don't need to be enlightened to take the next step forward. Okay? A lot of these guys are putting Band-Aid. That's what a lot of these guys do in NoFap. It's a Band-Aid. Stop putting Band-Aids everywhere and just start making wins. Think about when you start winning like that, and you put yourself in these circumstances that cause you to have to go out. You actually rediscover that greatness. And that's why it normally fades into the background. We just forget about it and we fall into the routine. Look, man, the thing about confidence is confidence comes about when you have accomplishments. Because the opposite of confidence is uncertainty. So if you're uncertain all the time, you're not a leader. You're a follower. You look for someone else to give you directions. You don't feel adequate. You don't feel like you're competent. And that's what every man needs to feel. You need to feel like you're able to get shit done. You're able to lose that weight, to approach that girl, to buy that new house, to start a family. to make the sale. That's confidence, but you get that by having these wins and by exposing yourself to the things that take you, some that are hard. So don't let these guys tell you, man, it's just foolishness. If you look at from a primitive biological level, you need to be moving up, right? You're just gonna sit at the bottom and get bossed around. And think about confidence too. If it's the opposite of uncertainty, imagine when you just go up to a girl. Girls don't really get approached that much. People, for instance, don't really talk to random people throughout the day. What do? We go to social clubs, get drunk, then we open up and start talking. Like, that's the normal thing. But so that in itself is demonstrating a sort of social confidence by being certain. I'm going up, I'm approaching. Social confidence. Dude, you seem like the alpha of the tribe. You seem like the leader. Some of the think about it, dude. Like, if you're in a tribe, you can't feed your people, that's uncertainty. Oh, here's some dog bones because we couldn't feed the dog. He died. Now eat the dog. Right? You got to feed your tribe or you're going to run into a big headache. A new leader's going to come along real quick. And so what I'm saying is I want you guys to rekindle that feeling of extraordinary greatness. I want you to be inspired, man. I want you to take Mondays by the balls. I want you to grab them and I want you to make something of your life. And you do that with focus. You do it by finding your voice, by listening to it in your head, because there's a lot of confusion. And this is what I'm saying is it's kind of difficult to be creative. It's difficult to be motivated, inspired, and try new things because we've been born into a generation. And that generation is like a program. This is what Terrence McKenna said. He's like, this is the software. And then the culture is the program that you've been born into. And so a lot of times all we need to do is just upgrade the program. If you're not where you want to be, if you're unhappy in life, it's probably because you don't know enough about life. You don't know how things work. And so we love how things work, man. We love to look at it, how things work on Discovery Channel, like how lollipops are made or how little teddy bears are stuffed. I don't know. But you get what I'm saying? Like, we want to know how things are made. We want to know how to live life. And it's all there for you to learn. But we end up wasting on a bunch of nonsense. And, dude, it's all there, man. I used to play this video game called Mega Man Battle Network 1 through 6. And it's actually a fantastic game. And the whole premise of the game is you got this avatar called Mega Man that he's in the digital, and you go into the computer and you use Mega Man to fight viruses, like computer viruses. Mega Man's just a basic robot, no weapons, nothing, just a little pee-pee shooter, like that shoots out of his arm. But the key factor of this game is that you can upgrade Mega Man with chips. You can put them in, and say you got a sword chip, you put it in and a sword appears on Mega Man's arm. And so this was so cool for me as a kid because you can make combos. And if you get 3 types of different swords and you combine them, now Mega Man has a long sword. It's called like a great sword that swipes across the field and slices the fucking enemy in half. You could do some wild stuff. And it was all about what new programs can I give Mega Man. That way he can crush his enemy and become the beast in the virtual realm. And that's exactly what applies, is like how often in this program that we're operating in our culture do we just become a predestined boss. Or think about Dark Souls. If you haven't even played Dark Souls, it's a very hard game. And so these bosses are programmed to be very hard. But the thing is that they're not AI where they're have autonomy and they can learn. Like, they don't adapt. They just have a preset of moves, so you recognize the patterns and you can beat them, right? So a lot of us have these same patterns in life. We're just like in the Matrix, and we don't even question. We're not even aware of why do I get angry at that? Why does rejection hurt me so much? Why don't I flip the switch and actually look at rejection as a good thing? Why am I so confused all the time, and why am I so low energy and down? Why do I have all these negative thoughts? You've been programmed, my dude. You've been programmed. All right? You've been focusing on the wrong thing. You've been focusing on real Adidas. You've been focusing on shallow things. And so what I'm saying is that that's easy, though. And it's not even all, I'm not saying be a victim, but look, you got to recognize, you got to wake up. This is the Matrix, man. Time to unplug. And you pull that thing out of your head and you see all the stuff. What I can tell you right now is start paying attention and focus. Be aware. Be aware when you get up in the morning. What's my default setting? What's my default state? Why do I do the things that I do? Why do I have these different emotions? What are the triggers to those emotions? Now it becomes this sort of meta-analysis of your entire life. You got to rethink your avatar. You got to reprogram the guy. And you got to equip him with better stuff if you're going to move up. If you're going to take on the world. Because it's not easy, and you need the best programs, dude. You need those combos. You need the best long swords that you can get. What is that? Well, let me give you an example. That's good food and nutrition. That's sleep. That's going in the sauna. Taking an extra 10 minutes going in the sauna. That's getting in a cold shower. That's going on a walk when you don't feel like it. That's hitting up the gym and crushing the weights. That's being a social fucking magician. Going into social realm and being a damn magician, dude. Just lighting up rooms and stuff. Like, people don't teach you that in college. They don't teach you that in school. What they teach you is to obey and then, don't be creative. That's starting a blog, starting a YouTube channel, starting something different, collabing with friends. That's all wizardry, man. That takes, different things, synapses firing in your brain. And so what I think a lot of people do is we get stuck in these states. And the states are just the levels of energy in the matrix. We're all susceptible to a state. So we all have these, whether or not our health is good, we got enough sleep, we usually have like a state that we're always in. And so what you need to be able to do is change your state, manipulate, become the chief executive of your state. All right, a lot of guys, I'm not motivated, I'm procrastinating, and they don't get anything done. Change your fucking state, dude. And then you do this, it's either this. Look, sometimes I know you don't feel like going out, and you got to ask yourself, is me not going out just me being beta and passive? Or is it me really just wanting to hang out at home and like read a book? All right, because is me not going to the gym